Now it's going to be almost on par with the music. Just in time for tea. Just in time for tea. Come on, load up. Load up. Let me see what we're working with. Still nothing. Oh, it's so quiet. 20 decibels up. That's going to be my new peak. I don't understand why it's so quiet today, so I guess what we'll have to do testing. That's getting closer to what I need. Can I put it up higher than 20 decibels? Yes, I can. All right. Oh, there we go. Now we're getting the piece that we need. That's... Ooh, okay, that was crazy. There's a Provolone, the streamer I watch, and he has had the same problems with OBS recently, where it just is resetting everything. So sorry about that, folks. A little bit of tea time, and then, but don't worry, we got plenty of time to hang out today. The recipe that we got going on is real easy. This is a nice snack. It's going to be spinach and some tomatoes, and we're going to get the third. We're still going to get the third camera up real quick. Yeah, I'm just not sure. My webcam is just picking it up so soft. Thank you, Romeo, for the sound check. I appreciate it. We will get our last camera back up, though. That's what we'll do. Yeah, I removed the filters and everything. Our little buddy here gonna be holding down the last camera. What is that? Ah. Perfect. All right, let's get down to business. Let's see, I want the fridge in the shot. Perfect. Okay, let's get this show on the road. We're gonna adjust this just a smidge more. And yeah, all right. So, quick another hand wash in here. Start running some cold water too. And we'll just we'll wash 2 tomatoes here. We might only end up using 1. That's okay. Let's put over there. Then you could do this recipe if you have a little toaster oven. This would work great. You could even bust it out even quicker. So all we need is some spinach out of the fridge here. And I'm also at the same time grabbing the frozen spinach here. And our breads that we'll be using. I'll make 2 on some English muffins. Oh, there it is, the complicated packaging again. We'll make 3. also want some garlic. Put our bread to their side. Oh, hey, I kind of like these angles that we got today. And I'm not going to be bashful with this garlic. I'm going to use a lot of garlic. I want to use the rest of this. I might leave like, it's not even really worth leaving a clove. I'll just finish using it all. Now, before I like really go too hard about pressing the paper, we're going to go ahead and smash it down now. Now, I almost want to save this. Look at that perfect root. And grow a whole nother garlic clove with that, I bet. Watch, we'll just put that to the side real quick. So, you have your garlic cloves right here, right? Now, if you, for some reason, what you do is that you can smash the garlic like this. If this worries you too much, like, if it does, there is a different way. You can just take a plate. Now you gotta be careful because some plates can break on you, and you could really cut your hand. So I'd recommend like maybe even a mug. You know, would probably be better. Be able to smash it. Personally, I just use my knife every time, so I was like, oh yeah, you can just do it with the plate. But then I got a little worried about, you know, I don't want people to smash it down with the plate, because with these ceramic plates, you're sure to bust one open. But when you smash it, like, look at how much easier it is to peel back this paper. And then smashing it does two things. So when you smash it, when this garlic cooks, it's going to actually release the garlic flavor instead of the garlic flavor being trapped in the garlic. So instead of what happens is if you don't smash the garlic, you're only going to be tasting the garlic when you bite into a piece of garlic. We want to go the distance. You see how I'm not having to scrape my fingers? Like, this is a big difference. When you're peeling back garlic, you didn't smash it, you're like going at it really hard with your fingers trying to get it. Just having it smashed and the paper will just fall away. We made it to another Friday, everybody, too. Congratulations. And it's been a beautiful spring day today. I sat outside. I went on my first spring walk. I walked the first night of spring. I loved it. You can definitely smell it on the air. Sorry for all you folks that got your allergies that are acting up with the changing of the seasons. Alright, let's put this right here. Can I get it in the shot a little bit better? Yeah, there we go. A little bit lower to be able to see what we're working with. Alright, so this has already been washed 3 times. And I really am I'm gonna trust it, you know? Like, reduce the water where you can. And you're looking for about a cup. Now this is, you're gonna want to use a little bit more than you think, because this is really gonna reduce down. And we're gonna get, now you really don't need anything big when you're cooking for yourself. Little guy will do just fine. You really don't need the bigger pan to get this done. We're gonna just put it on a 3. Now back over here, I'm cutting up this spinach. Now, what I do recommend doing is go ahead. Anything with a large stem, go ahead and remove that. We're going to want this to be a little bit, the spinach be a little bit more on the, what's the word I'm looking for? Not delicate, but light. We don't want such a abrasive texture. That's what we're going. We're going to go ahead and set that off to the side here. Timber. I'm going to go ahead and stack my lettuce up, or excuse me, my spinach up. I'm trying to roll it. Get really under the fingers. And tiny, tiny cuts. I'm going to turn it 90 degrees. I'm going to go cut out it again. It won't be the end of the world with a couple large pieces. It'll be fine. So we got the spinach. Ooh, we did miss that. Bunch it up. Cut it twice, no big deal. Now our tomatoes here. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to minimize on both sides. Just cut it under the core. Kind of see what you're looking for right here. We captured all that. Go ahead again, put that off to the side. And we're going to kind of look for where we get the even slices of pieces. So we're going to cut it right there. Don't worry, we're still going to use the rest of these tomatoes. And now we're going to go ahead and give it a nice slice. And we'll get 3 out of this. So I use a serrated blade for this, makes it really easy to cut the tomatoes. A sharp, regular knife works just as well. Alright, so we're going to go ahead. That's why that one gets smashed down. We got a little bit of the root, or a sprout. Just starting to come out of that one. Go ahead, put that off to the side here. This is the little pile. Yeah, this little pile right here is what we're gonna mix in with our black beans. All right, now this should be getting warm. Let's see. Yeah, we can work with that. We're going to get a little bit of butter. Not too much. Just a sliver. I'm not doing anything crazy fancy with the garlic either. I'm not super mincing it. I'm going to add that first. So the smaller the piece of garlic is, the quicker it's going to cook. So if you're just starting cooking, it actually benefits you to use larger pieces because it's not going to brown on you as quickly. You're still going to get the flavor. We're going to go ahead and clean up our floor a little bit real quick. That way we're not stepping on things. This, you'll hear me say every show, clean it as you go, sign of a pro. You don't need to be making a big old mess in your kitchen. Sorry, the garlic is dead. a little bit of green. That was just the start. See, that's exactly, I knew that it was close though. That's why I wanted to use all the garlic. Just use the rest of the garlic. Yeah, it might be a little bit too much garlic, but it's going to sprout. It's going to sprout on me, so I need to finish using it. We're going to grab some provolone cheese out. With the English muffins is I'm going to show you how to make this with the toaster instead of using the oven. And we're going to go ahead and start preheating our oven to 350 degrees. Let's see, the oil I prefer. There's a couple of different types. I like avocado oil. I like sunflower oil. It depends a lot on what I'm using the oil for. Like I have this little mini fryer that I use. My sister got me this for Christmas. A little mini fryer, and instead of using sunflower oil, I'll use a peanut oil for this. And the reason why I won't use a sunflower oil is because sunflower oils, I keep on forgetting to look this up, but I believe it's called alkalides, that when you reheat up the sunflower oil, it breaks down, and it is not the best stuff for you, because it, from my understanding in layman's terms, these alkalides, if that's what they're called, they are not good for cell structure. They break it down. They're kind of like an aging agent, I guess would be a really dumb way to put it. Tea time. Coconut oil. I really like coconut oil for baking. Let's see, what else have I used coconut oil for recently? I was doing something with it. Oh, coconut oil went really good with avocados. Alright. And we're just wilting this. You can see it reduced a significant amount. Like there's almost not enough for 3 on here. So it's like this much transfers to this, and that's like enough for 1 serving. We're going to do brownies tonight too. Just a quick little mix. I want to get people in the spirit I want to show them how, since I am using my oven today, we're going to cook this recipe again. We're going to show you how to use the toaster. But since we already have our oven preheated, we're also going to use it for cooking more than one thing. Well, bake will be the other. Okay, and it's still preheating. And so what I'm going to do, side for a second, put our tomato on as well, put our provolone cheese on top, and we have it over here on the tray now. And we're going to keep on working this down. So we have the rest of the garlic here. So the other ones are going to be less garlicky. I'm not going to worry about the stems this time. Quick cuts here. Oop, a little bit more butter. Forget that. Let's see. I'm going to use, that way I don't contaminate my butter. Going a little bit heavier on the butter this time because I'm going to have a bit more spinach going in here. And we're going to add the garlic again first. And again, I'm not going super crazy on the mince here. You can really just call this a dice. And the temperature I have on this is a medium low. You'll see how much this will reduce here in just a moment. Let's see, and then, so, we're going to use just a brownie mix. Now, we will eventually get to the part of the show where we can make our own mix by scratch. However, this is handy stuff to hold around the house. Once you have your staples done, like once you got your onions, your breads, your potatoes, your garlic, you got some seasonings going on, and you're looking to entertain more, you know, I don't think cooking at home is going to be any less popular because as the country is opening back up, some people might just be comfortable, you know, not going out, but just having a few friends over at their house. And why not? It's really inexpensive to have friends over at your house. You can have any type of music you're playing, you can have any type of drinks in your refrigerator. I highly recommend entertaining from home. Highly, highly recommend it. Also, you'll find that the food tastes better from home. Once you get a little bit of practice in it, of course. But it doesn't take much to make something good. This, we have 5 ingredients all together for everything. Oh, I guess 6 if you include the butter. We're gonna let that wilt down just a little bit more. We'll have 3, and we're gonna cook them in the oven at 350 for 10 minutes. And then we're gonna make the quickie version next. So we'll go into 1 more potato, and then we're gonna get our black beans ready over here too. Let's go ahead and get them. A little pot for that. But brownie mix, where we're going on with this is that maybe you don't have time to go out to the store. We're going to whip up a dessert with this. So again, just stuff having around in your fridge. You can make like these awesome desserts. You can really treat yourself, eat healthy and well. Alright, so I'm going to split this into 2 parts here. Off the heat. We have the burner still on because we're not done with it. Spread that out a little bit. We got our tomato. Oops, almost forgot the tomato on that one. Alright, now I made some promises on the show. Well, I made some promises on the show. One of them, I was like, I promise you guys, you can actually bust this stuff out in 10 minutes. I'm going to prove it to you. So, we're going to recreate this meal right here that we just, we took about maybe 30 minutes to put this all together and stuff. Have that. I want to put it on the top rack. 10 minutes. Okay, so we're going to do the whole thing again, and we're going to beat this timer. Okay? What? So, a little less talking, a little bit more action. And I guess we do have a burner already heated, so I guess we do have that going for us as well. And then I've been hit or miss. I haven't been consistent in the garlic I've been using. I thought I was going to add this to the black beans. I think I want to just go ahead and use it. This isn't going to be the most prettiest one, but I just cut out the core here. And then, okay, so I have my garlic here. Put that on the heat. Butter. And what we're going to do, English muffins are supposed to just be able to pull apart. Toaster. What we're going to do, say you're in a rush, we're not even going to actually cut. Whew, made a little bit of a mess there. So what I'm going to do is I'm pushing the garlic off to the side, taking all my tomatoes here, throwing them in. me just being dumb. I was like, this needs a little bit more water. There's going to be plenty of water coming out of that frozen spinach there. Still cleaning up as we go here. We're going to put a lid on that, and we're going to crank up the heat just a little bit. So let those stay in there. The lid for this. All these extra bits can come with it. Messy, messy, messy. And I'm cleaning as I go because I want to show you that not only can you have this meal ready in 10 minutes, you can have this meal ready, clean, like going on with your business. Because I know a lot of people have roommates and stuff. And something that really helps, like it's almost a must, is that people have to leave the kitchen in working order for the next person to be able to do their business in the kitchen. It's just like it's very similar to an art space. If your art space is super cluttered, are you really able to execute the best work? This is still pretty frozen. It's coming together though. Four minutes. I'm going to go ahead and dunk these in the toaster one more time. I'm going to put it straight to medium heat here. Let's see, those are all those that we're making today. Then we're going to move on to the brownies here in a little bit. So get my spinach put away. I believe spinach is really good for you. Not just because Popeye says so, but it has a good source of iron in it, so it's really great for vegetarians to have some spinach. I highly recommend adding that to your diet. And then kale, since we're talking about the nutrients that are in vegetables, kale is something that you can grow in your garden in the back door. I highly recommend growing some kale if you can. Kale has more vitamin C than an orange. Is ridiculous. And then it's super good for your body if you cook kale. It helps your cellular structure again. Your body will thank you for it. Now we're cooking this a bit longer and a little bit hotter because we're not throwing it in the oven. how you get your cook hands. Oh man, this takes me back. This so takes me back. Trying to get stuff out of the toaster. Oh man, what a flashback. That's so funny. That brings me straight back to the cooking days. Okay, I can go ahead and turn off the heat here. Oops. I'll just put it on the other end here. These are going to be sandwiched together. I'm putting it back on the heat just to help this cheese melt. Sorry, I just wanted to really beat that timer. Let's take the other ones out. Melt the cheese and everything. Still beat the clock. Did it in under 10 minutes. Start from frozen. Let's get this out now. Now, this is the magic glow. Mm-hmm. See, one's a quick snack. This, Samuel Jackson would say in Pulp Fiction, that's gourmet. All right. And you can see very minimum cleanup. One, you can have this clean lickety split. Cheese is nice and melted. Cooked tomato. Nice little sandwich. You can throw an egg on this over here. Let's see, let's get this guy plated up. This here, nice bolts, nice firm. Voila. Okay, now, I already know we're gonna have to bring up our oven to 400 degrees, or something like that for brownies. Oops. Ooh, that's still pretty warm. And oh shucks, I didn't cook any black beans with this. I didn't make a full meal out of it like I promised. I cooked so many sides. I'm gonna serve these up real quick while they're still hot. These are going to some folks in the house here. Whew. Put this on the other side of the table for me. And I'll show you how. Now you have a paper towel. Now each person has a little bit of a towel here. And yeah, that would give you a nice amount of energy right there. Oh, I can't wait to have one. I'm gonna go hand these off real quick. Alright, let's see if I just poisoned them or not. Now I have to have a taste. See, that's a real ballsy thing about cooking, is let other people try your food before you have a chance to try it yourself. We did A-okay, chat. We did A-okay. It's just buttery enough. You cooking this with butter instead of a different oil? All right. Now this is probably cooled down enough. So my rule is when I got a little bit more cook hands, but when I can start having my hand on this is cool enough to start running some water over on it. And then I just want to show you it only takes and then I have over here an extra towel, and you can have this done and put away. And then you really do have a clean kitchen for the next run, the next go about. Not everything necessarily has to go through the dishwasher. I think a dishwasher will save you a lot of time, and also it washes dishes at a lot hotter temperature, so they'll get sanitized. And also it's just like, it's 10 times the water consumption to wash it by hand. Your dishwasher will take 3 to 5 gallons. You'll take 30 gallons of water to wash your dishes by hand. And they won't necessarily come out as clean. Okay, let's take a look at what recipe. Thank you, Romeo. It tastes good too. It has provolone cheese. Definitely want to do that. Another white cheese. You definitely want to do a white cheese for this. Cheddar would throw off the flavor too much. It would go too much. Spinach is kind of more of on the sour side or bitter. And if you did cheddar with that sharpness, it would just throw it way. It would just throw it over the edge. But another good alternative to this cheese instead of provolone would be mozzarella. All right, let's see. 1 teaspoon classic. 1 8x8 pan. Baking is not my forte, so I don't have too many things to bake in. We're gonna have to get away with this guy. That's about an 8x8. It's just round. Alright, let's see what we gotta do. Oh, we only need to preheat the oven to 350 degrees. Imagine that. Okay, so 5 ounces of butter. I bet that. How many ounces is in a tablespoon? Ooh, wait a minute. A half a fluid ounce. Half a fluid ounce. How many do we need? We do not have enough butter. Alright, so this guy here. I like melting my butter. This little ceramic right here. Okay, so this stick of butter is 4 ounces. We need 5 altogether. Make sure you get all the paper off. We need most of this butter as well, too. There we go. Get our bowl. I have one large bowl. I use this guy for everything. You can see this, chicken wings, so much stuff. So much stuff. Good, good. That is the point. I love it. I love to hear that makes this show all worth it. Is when I hear people are going to get up and that they're going to step up to the grill. Excellent. I love it. See, I try to keep it really positive in the chat, but also I love to dunk on restaurants because restaurants charge way too much money and their food, the food is just not worth it. And people don't know. It's like good art. People don't know what makes good art. Some people don't know what makes good food. Or it's still, I guess it should be, it's still, the food that they have out in restaurants is better than what people assume that they can cook for themselves at home. Like, people think that they need years of experience to make a decent meal. Like, no, you just need a good recipe. You just need a decent recipe. All right. Just finishing melting this butter. Let's see if we have any vanilla. I keep all my baking stuff. Oh, it's a little off camera. We have some imitation vanilla here. So we'll go ahead and use. Almost done melting this butter. Sneak in a little bite while we can. Ooh, I get the tomato this time. Yeah, yep, this is the goodness. Don't mind me, I'm just shoveling food into my face right now. Oh, this is delicious. Alright, back to work, back to work. The only way that could get better is that if you had some fresh basil, threw that on top. Oh, it sounds so good. Almost got this butter melted, just a little bit longer. Don't burn your butter though. Just be patient, just melt it. We are in no rush here. Want to dress up some brownies though. Oh wow, top of the hour, 7:05. On the top of the hours, on others, I want to throw into like some sort of trivia. That'd be fun to do a little trivia. Another funny thing I thought about doing is like trying to play a competitive game and cook a meal at the same time. It's like, how many things can he do? Anyway, just thinking about stuff. Oh yeah, there is some important news too. This isn't so much of an announcement, just more of a we are going to probably move to a full weekend show. Um, I am thankfully getting my graveyards are coming to an end, and it's going to be more of just a late. I guess it can still be considered graveyard because I won't be getting out till midnight, but I get to start a lot earlier. About 3 p.m. in the afternoon, so I'm finally going to be able to recapture my mornings. So the show, I've been thinking about what day to do it on. I've been thinking, so I'm going to have Mondays, I'm going to have Mondays and Tuesdays off, and then every other Sunday. All right, butter is melted. Let's see here. We're going to go ahead, move this cutting board over here. We'll let you guys see the mixing action here. All right, now a good thing to do, just read the recipe all the way out. Preheat oven to 350, melt butter, put dry mix in medium bowl. Once melted, remove butter from heat, add the dry ingredients, stir to combine. Add 1 egg and stir until the egg is completely mixed. Add the second egg along with the vanilla. Do not worry about over mixing. Bake for 18 to 24 minutes. All right, let's go ahead and get our eggs. Let's see here. I thought I only had 2 eggs left. It looks like there'll be one more after this. And we're just going to check the date on these guys because they're already reduced. When they're reduced, that usually means they were close to expiring in store. You know, when in doubt, trust your nose though. Come on, where is... I swear they're sell by Tuesday. All right, there's the 2 eggs there. Gonna go ahead, wash my hands. All right. All right, so the 1 egg. Oh my goodness. You know, I don't think we need so much of a whisk. That was my fault. So much of a whisk as we need a rubber spatula. Woo! We're going to go ahead and measure out that tablespoon of vanilla. Am I really reading this right? Ah! so silly. There we go. That's looking more like brownie mix. I'm so silly. Oh, with all that butter just not to use it for a minute. We're scraping all the extra dust from the side. Getting it all worked in. I'm going to go ahead and measure out our vanilla here. And we're adding it with the egg here, so I'm just going to go ahead and pour it in. Thick, glossy batter is what we're looking for. With no lumps. Really getting this combined. Yeah, if we had stuck with that that whisk, that would have been a big old mess. I'm glad we didn't do that. It said, do not worry about over mixing it. I'm taking advantage of the surface area of the bowl. It really helps you mix it quicker. If you did it in a small bowl, it'd take longer. Now we're gonna scrape this all up. All right. As good as that's gonna get. We're gonna go ahead and spread it around. If I was extra smart and if I had baked more often, I would have been able to tell you. And I had the butter sitting right here too to grease your pan. But alas, I only have so many brain cells. So I forgot that part. Oh my goodness, under 50. The price on this? Okay, so the batter that we found this on sale. This batter here, maybe like it is kind of like it's kind of like a bougie mix, right? Like yeah. Even this though, when you found it on sale, $4. It's comparable to the price that you're going to be paying for brownies. Like from it's still almost cheaper than buying the brownies from the bakery. But the cool part is with this, the English muffins and stuff, like, let's see, English muffins, they're kind of more on the expensive side. Maybe they're like $3 for the whole package, maybe more, no more than 5, I would say. That's HIBA on it. I'm pretty sure you can find those on sale for $1 all the time. This spinach that we use right here, again, you can see right on the price tag, it's reduced to $1.79. We still have plenty of leftovers. And then the last ingredient was the tomato and the provolone cheese and the garlic. So all together, let's do some quick math. Like this, 40 cents. Let's say $1 for the English muffin, so $1.40. Let's say 10 cents for the butter to round up, so $1.50. The spinach we used let's just say we used 50 cents for butter, or excuse me, 50 cents for the spinach and the provolone, so it's $2 per. So, and I just made like 3, 5, 6. Yeah, I made 6 of these, and I only used the garlic, a couple of slices of cheese. Like all this meal, I just fed 3 people a snack, and it only cost. It is nickels and dimes basically. Like, want to call it $5 just to, like, you know, make it not sound too cheap. But yeah, no, under $10. Like, you do have to have some things in stock already. Like the bread and the cheese are the more expensive pieces, but those should be some daily consumption items. But there's all sorts of different things you could throw it on. It's incredibly versatile. It could be on a bagel. You could throw it on toast. Like the recipe of this is really just the tomatoes, the provolone cheese, the garlic, and the spinach. So those 4 ingredients, all that produce is incredibly cheap. And that's why I can say, like, if you went out to buy all the fresh ingredients, like, it's super, super cheap. Let's get this into the oven here. We're going to set a timer for 20 minutes. Boom. Yeah, I can move this back over here. But yeah, like if I had to go and buy all of these ingredients, let's see. So we're gonna put say the cheese was $6. Let's say the rolls were 5, so 11, and then $1.50. It's under $15 for this meal. Under $15. You want to make sure you get your water nice and hot for that, because you did have an egg. In there. Yeah, now we just need to wait for the brownies to come out. I'm going to munch a little bit. Finish cleaning up. Ooh, still got some tea. Plenty to eat. I'm going to wrap these. These are going to be my snack for later. I'm just going to, I'll heat them up real quick when I go to work. just have them in the fridge for a little bit. Finish this snack right here though. So let's go over some stuff, like say you work, just kitchen etiquette. Let's go over some kitchen etiquette. Wash your hands often, as often as you can. If when you get your household sick, where it's usually happening is in the kitchen. This is a common area. It's not in the bathroom. It's here on the stovetop when you're preparing foods for people. Like when we had the tomatoes out over here, if I didn't have my hands washed and stuff, I'm touching those tomatoes. Like it's just given a good, and it's room temperature, so bacteria likes to grow between, like, bacteria loves growing at like 74 to 88 degrees. That's really great temperatures for bacteria to be coming up. Oh, $15 is a lot here in my country. Here in America, it's not everywhere, but they're really trying to make it where 1 hour's worth of work is $15. It's a hard sell for some reason. Cook like Gordon Ramsay's is watching. Oh my goodness, I can't tell you how slightly terrible. It's funny stuff. Gordon Ramsay does have a social media presence, and he's on TikTok roasting people all the time. So, like, I do have this slight fear that I'll just be doing something so wrong, and then someone will send it to Gordon Ramsay, and then I end up getting called a muffin. Yeah, is that what? Oh, or is it biscuit? Muffin, biscuit. What does he call you? Donut. Yes, that's what it is. You donut. But what cooking in a restaurant and cooking at home are kind of they're very different beasts. Because I really like cooking at home way better than cooking in a kitchen. It's not as noisy. Also, like, it's a pain in the butt to be on the line cooking the food and then run over here, run all the way to the bathroom to wash your hands. Like when you're getting cross-contaminated, not all kitchens are really set up to really cook in a healthy way. So there's lots of stuff to put up with. But what I try to do on the show is that I try to encourage people to cook because, yes, there's some skill into cooking, but I think what skill brings you in cooking are these things. You're able to cook something quicker, you're able to cook something cleaner, and you're able to do multiple things at once. But anyone can cook because those things aren't a requirement to cook a recipe all the way through. You can cook a recipe slow, and it can come out just as well as someone that can bust that recipe out and 5 other recipes out at the same time. That's what's making a cook in a restaurant, is to be able to handle multiple orders. And cooking is hard work I really encourage people to, well, here, I think the culture the culture is really important to bring up with cooking, because the more people, cooking seems like such a big task, but yeah, it's when you have to have like 2 or 3 guys to feed 300 people. It's too much, but cooking becomes a community and very enjoying. If you had like 8 or 9 people cooking, oh man, you could feed the town block with that many people. They're working together in a non-stressful way. That's another big thing that I like to bring up is that your kitchen, if you're working in a commercial kitchen, if it is super, like, if people are yelling and throwing stuff, that's not normal. It's not normal for people to be throwing an attitude or to be banging stuff around. Because half the time it's not even their restaurant to be doing that in. It's not their equipment to be throwing around. We're talking about Gordon Ramsay. That's one of my favorite things to talk about Gordon Ramsay is that people see, you know, the Hell's Kitchen mentality of Gordon Ramsay, the yelling, but that man, it's not that he fear mongers his staff. His staff respects him. My favorite story to tell is before he owned a restaurant, he was working in another kitchen, and that entire kitchen staff quit with him to go work in the restaurant. They had faith in his ability and his leadership. It wasn't just because he was such a hard ass. He tried to keep the swearing to the minimum, but you know, gotta speak plainly sometimes. Yes, not normal. Fun to watch. This is true, but that's exactly like something like Hell's Kitchen is for. Oh yeah, fun to watch too. Like because it's almost funny, you know, if there wasn't such the threat of violence. Because yeah, it gets hot in the kitchen, you know, like outbursts happens because you know people get frustrated and you know they're allowed to do it, but what really makes the kitchen though is people that can get frustrated, breathe and move on and work through it, because man oh man, there can just it's not cooks versus cooks though. It needs to be cooks versus the customers. The customers are the enemy. That's a good cooking environment. I was wondering where people got this idea that like cooks are like super surly, and Gordon Ramsay is one of them to point to. But I've been watching One Piece recently, and there's this character Sanji, and he is a chef on a boat in the middle of the sea. Is where you find him. They had a ship that's just a restaurant that serves anyone. And of course, you know, pirates come through and stuff, so all the kitchen staff knows how to fight. And One Piece is a really popular show, so I think a lot of people saw that. And they're like, oh, surly cooking staff, I got it. But again, that was. But if you pay attention to how they're talking in the show, those cooks that were the violent and able to fight and stuff, they went from kitchen to kitchen to kitchen, and they finally found a place that they could call home, which was that kitchen. And it's a whole. It's funny. It's really great to watch. Oh man, and I cried. I'll tell you, I cried. We were talking about animes that make me cry. Oh man, One Piece made me bawl at that end of the beginning of the Sanji arc when he leaves his ship. Oh my goodness, I almost took a little video just being like, this is just me and the boy, because everyone on screen's crying when he leaves. And so I just wanted to take a video like, no big deal, just me and the boys letting out our feelings. Everyone was letting out their feelings. 8 minutes. Let's take a quick peek. What am I looking for? I'm looking for the oven light. Yeah. So for I do a lot of that's a great question. I do a lot of rice dishes. It's a pretty mixed bag, to be honest with you. I watch Food Wars, so I was able to that was a great way, just a fun way, to learn more about food because they do go over the I think it's five main food categories, um, and we can kind of just on my spices on what I have is that's kind of your cooking style comes from the spices that you have available. So I don't have too many Indian spices. I haven't done too much Indian cuisine. Um, my cooking has a lot of Spanish and Mexican influence to it for sure. Um, there's a little bit of French cuisine influence there. I think her name is Julia Childs, The Art of French Cooking. Um, but a lot of my style came from, the cooking shows that I was grown up from. So mine's very practical and reduction of food waste. I know that's not a style. Uh, American cooking, though, I know that's funny because I also recognize that America is the entire North and Southern Hemisphere. That is the Americas. Um, but America, at the Americas, has a lot of food to offer, and I cook with that food. The peppers, um, wild rice, avocados. It's hard to beat so many stuff off at once. Tomatoes, funny enough, but I'm not an expert on this. But that's stuff that I want to learn more about. I'm just very big on the food that's on hand, the food that I can grow in my garden. Uh, and the style has come from I just want to be able to cook, practical cooking, just cooking that's not necessarily expensive. It doesn't take too long to put together, and it's healthy and nutritious for you. Um, I avoid I avoid a lot of stuff that is just I wouldn't say it's bad for you. I just think it's too convenient and it doesn't make you care where your food's coming from. And I really do care where my food's coming from. So there's that. I hope that answers it well for you on what my cooking style is. Um, Something else I saw from Food Wars in particular, though, was that I liked is the Japanese style of cooking is very raw. Like they showcase the raw vegetables. That you can cook them, but it's very much that single vegetable speaks for itself. There might be a combination of vegetables that all go together, but it's more in a raw form. As to where French cuisine, you'd be reducing and to bring out the excellence of each flavor in the best possible way. I definitely lean more on that Japanese style of cooking where I'm totally okay. Where we just saw just now, just a little bit of spinach, a little garlic. You don't need to chop it up too much. Provolone, tomato. We didn't do very intricate cuts or anything. Very simple cuts, rough chops on everything. That delicious dish. Oh my goodness. What happened to my kitchen timer? We have about 5 minutes left on it. We're going to get a toothpick. Indonesian food. One of the reasons why it's so hard, the reason why I haven't expanded to something, like Indian food or Indonesian food, especially in this past year, is just because it's hard. I'm kind of out in the middle of nowhere. There's not a whole lot of restaurants out here. It's mostly fast food restaurants. There's a couple Mexican restaurants too, at Chili's, but there's not. There's only two Chinese restaurants in the whole town. Um, I'm not sure if there's even an Indonesian place within 3 hours of me. I might I might end up in Denver. I'm gonna let that go for 4 more minutes. I'll definitely look up some Indonesian food. I've definitely been interested in Indian food too, because like there's this wonderful spiced chickpea, and I was like, oh, that sounds so good, but I didn't have the spices to cook in that area of cooking. But I'll definitely keep my eye out from some Indonesian cuisine. I Something else that's kind of big for me is that I did grow up on like Alton Brown, American's Test Kitchen, some Julia's Childs. There was some Emerald Live, which was kind of funny. I didn't get too much big into Emerald. It was just very wowy. But I really do pick up. I do have about 8 years of professional cooking under my belt, and I really do remember the names of the people that showed me. Yeah, and I do very much believe that cooking is a great way to show about how you don't build yourself. Like, you're responsible for yourself, but you are built by your community. The people that you run in your lives, that show you how to do things. They invest in you. It's a whole different type of investment, and you pick up things that you like, which is why I'm not worried about competition for cooking, because there's billions of people. There's not enough cooks for us all, and everyone has their own little flair that they want to throw in for cooking. See, Indonesian food is cheap, fresh, and garden-grown veggies. Oh, I'll definitely be looking into that a bit then. Hey, Pops, did you like the meal?
Yeah, it's really good.
I'm glad you liked it. I'll take care of the dishes.
Did you do the blueberries?
I didn't do the blueberries. I did brownies tonight. I'm just going to do some brownies, and I'm going to show people how to dress up with vanilla ice cream, some caramel.
I'll make the blueberries when you're done.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'll be wrapped up here in about 20 minutes.
All right.
Just got my toothpick. Gonna wait to test my brownies. The brownies are gonna have to cool off too for a minute. Let's see, in my garden, the past couple years, I've been growing some corn. Um, but I want to, and I also did some tomatoes. I did some heritage tomatoes. I really want to grow a couple of those, but I'm not going to have them in my main bed. Um, I'm actually going to be the garden. We're talking about moving the show. It's not going to be Friday evenings. We're going to every other Sunday. That every other Sunday is probably when I'm going to be having an outdoor Twitch stream, and we're going to be working on the garden for a couple hours. So people are welcome to hang out there too. Let's see. Oh, challenging someone off to a cook-off, Romulo. That's that would be great. There I have a friend, and his name is Owen, and we've been talking about doing cooking together. There's a couple of things that we've been wanting to talk about, and we might just have a conversation, have a double video of both of us, and just cooking in the kitchen and having a conversation. But a cook-off, that's a great idea. All right. So it didn't come out clean yet. I know it's super hard to see that. Here, let's try it over here. Is it better? No, I'm sorry, guys, for the toothpick there. We're gonna add probably like 4 more minutes to that. And then we're gonna go ahead, let's pull out the caramel. This stuff, money. Oh man. Let me tell you, if you pull out this dessert, it's a very light snack. So that's another thing, is that while what we just cooked here tonight isn't a whole meal, you gotta understand, if you're starting to cook for people, you're gonna have to build up their trust. Trust me, there's a lot of people that have cooked and they've made people sick. Luckily with vegetarian cuisine, you don't have to worry about that too much because you're not undercooking chicken. But you can still undercook eggs. You know, there's still areas where you can get people sick, or if you're using rotten food, you can get people sick. And then sometimes, you know, people like they don't eat too many greens, and so the greens just go right through them, kind of upsets their stomach. So where did I put them? Oh, I put them in the fridge. Oh, for people joining us, let me show you just a little extra snack that we made. So this is just a sandwich that we kind of made. Spinach, garlic, tomato, provolone cheese. Put it in the toaster. Earlier out on the show, what we did is that when we got our, we did some fancy ones here in the oven, and these guys I busted out with just using the top range burner here and the toaster. And these guys are going to be my little lunch snack. But, so, you'll have to rewind and see the prettiness that it looked like as it was sitting on a little roll and it had the cheese melted over the tomato. That's a great sized meal to make for someone. And like I said, it only took a couple minutes here on the grill. You bust it out and it's just this really light snack to be able to have. And then when you bust out these brownies, ooh, she's never gonna wanna leave. No one is. They're gonna come back. They're always gonna want to come back for your cooking after that. So build a little trust if you're just cooking and you're just starting to entertain. And then my best advice for people, if they're really worried, just follow the recipe. Get a recipe out of a cookbook though, and go to a thrift shop. You can find a bunch of cookbooks for $2, $1. You can find a whole thick cookbook for 50 cents. You can find an older cookbook. You'll have vegetarian options. Vegetarian meals have been around, have been popularized since the 70s in cookbooks. Vegan dishes are a little bit newer, and there's some newer stuff that you can, newer ingredients for vegan cooking, more substitutes that you can use. So I do recommend a little bit of a newer cookbook for that. But the thing is that vegan diet, you can find vegan diets in other diets that are still, what's the word I'm trying to say? They don't call themselves vegan, but they still are vegan diets. Alright. That smells delicious here. Okay, that came out clean enough. We're going to go ahead and pull it out. I do still know that stuff. Just because I'm a vegetarian, I can still cook you up a steak. I can still cook you up a chicken. Um, there's temperatures that the chicken needs to reach, and you can either do that by looking at it, and that's I guess where some skill comes in, is being able to prepare things properly, like which part of the vegetable that you're able to use, things like that. But yes, chickens, meats, how you store your meats, how long your meats sit out, um, all that's very important. And then reaching the correct temperature, all very important stuff. A ringing noise. Uh-oh. Might have gotten a little too quiet without the music there. When I opened the oven, I wonder what happened. But it's good that you said something, because I was able to plug back in the music again. Thanks for letting me know, Romeo. I super appreciate it. So we got, that's hot. So we got our brownies out. We just need to let them cool off for a couple minutes. And then we're gonna dress up the ice cream there. So again, the theme of today's show has really just been, things that you keep around in your kitchen today. So again, I was talking about expanding once you have your basic staples like carrots, potatoes. You got a good stock of canned produce, green beans, tomatoes. Tomatoes are great to have canned. We got creams of mushrooms as well, is another big staple. That's more if you're doing stuff like casserole. I can show you like another quick meal that I bust out sometimes. Like I use a cream of mushroom and frozen broccoli, breadcrumbs, and then I'd have like a substitute chicken. And you throw all that in a casserole dish and you throw it in. Done. That's all you need. Well, you would take the breadcrumbs and you would stir them in some melted butter, and then you would layer that on top. Gives it a nice crust. But I digress. That will be a different show. But once you got all the staples, you can start building, going off on different recipes. And then also things that I had in, like I do have a vegetarian diet, so something great to hold if you have people coming in with different diets. Again, just showing some of this stuff up, is that I do still have some canned soups down here on the bottom, and they're like roasted vegetables and beef. So I don't keep meat in the fridge, because like we were talking about, that would spoil through pretty quickly. But once it's all canned up, I can just whip this out when I have my friend over. And again, I can make a small meal. I can do my little, what we just did tonight. I could do a little tomato and some spinach over here. And I could just heat up my friends some soup, and I could throw some bread in the oven, and then we both have a great meal. No worries. I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, if they're vegetarian and I go over to their house, I'll have to eat vegetarian too. Or maybe a vegetarian chef, again, might have no idea how to be able to cook some meat, but there is an alternative. Just a little bit of canned goodness. Let's see, we can turn off this oven now. All right, let's get a little bowl here. Now, we were talking about food staples, but we can go over like utensils too. So this is been a collection over time. So you can see that I have there's a whole stack of just regular bowls here. Just good, you know, no designs or anything, nothing too fancy. And those stay fairly uniform. I want like 6 or 8 of them. Now, I have these ones here, and these do actually kind of match. They do look like they're in a set, but I have some mismatched ones, like, so I don't need a set because these can be their own individual serving dishes. It's helpful, you know, what I'm trying to say here is that don't worry about having your whole kitchen, all the stuff in your kitchen matching. It's not that important. It actually can get in your way. Like in this example, I actually want something, because I'm using a white ice cream, I don't want a white bowl. But if I had everything uniformly white, I wouldn't have this option to be able to just grab a blue bowl here. That's going to make everything pop out. So don't be afraid to mix and match it a little bit. Alright. Get out. Oop. What we're going to do, it's still pretty hard. Okay. We'll let that defrost just a little bit longer. Try to put the main camera by my screen so I'm always facing people. I agree. I've been experimenting a little bit with camera angles. This is all new. Oh man, you should have seen me. I think it was 2 weeks ago when I first got into this environment. Like I was oh my goodness, where is everything? So yes, thank you so much. I love the suggestions. Because yes, now I just think that who would want to see this? Like, just stay over it. But nah, I know people want, I know people want to get personal and such. Okay. Yeah, I can do a little bit better with the camera shots for sure. Alright, here's how you want to do this, fellas. Alright. So a little bit. Get your base there. And you still want to get a ball. See, I have kind of a flat scoop, so it's not too good for that. But I know how to get it to form still. The look of the dessert is important. So, if you are practicing and don't really want to practice on your main dishes, because you know the main dish is just like, well, let's just eat and stuff. But you still want to practice, like I'm talking about, like plating concepts, like what we're doing right here with the off color and stuff. There's a way making your food look good is worth is going to help take it to the next level, because it's the smell. It all leads to your appetite. The smell, it looking good, tasting good. They all affect one another. Alright, so a scoop of ice cream like that. A little goes a long way with the drizzle here. Damn. Oh yeah, to heat up my scoop, I did a little bit, but I knew I did a little bit. Wasn't not going too deep in the barrel here. But yeah, this style here definitely helps maintain the heat. It's all metal, so yeah, definitely a little warm water goes a long way. I like, the reason why I like to wait and just kind of let it loosen up on its own is really because I just am not too rough on the ice cream box is one of the reasons. And then also, you are adding water into it. It's not a bad thing. Like, you can totally dry it off and everything, and it totally works. But I just find like my ice cream quality degrades just a little quicker when I brush it in those types of ways. But yeah, it's totally fine. Gonna get that put away. And there you go, a nice little dessert. Get it over here for you. All that goodness. And look at that, folks. We're about to hit 8 p.m. Mountain Time. That's going to wrap up our show for us here. One of the reasons why I don't have this camera, or I have it, is because I got a light that shines right on into you guys. Oh my goodness, I have no face light here this time. That is crazy. Find my light. See, this is actors coming out on stage. You know, they'll feel the light right here, and then they'll talk right here though. It's like, no, find your light. This is where you're supposed to stand. Your light. Anyway, that's the thespian coming out. So everyone, thank you so much for joining the show, everyone. Had a great time hanging out with everyone. At the start of the show, we had a little bit of a sound issue getting the microphones back in, but I think we had a really great show. Made a couple recipes a couple different ways. Showed you how to put together the dessert. The only thing we missed today is that we didn't do any of the black bean side. So again, this is a great breakfast, lunch, or dinner. You can do this meal anytime. I'm going to see you guys all next week. I'm going to start shutting down. Let's see. Do I have a tripod? So my webcam has a little tripod on it, but I don't own too much fancy equipment. We were talking, Mr. Romeo, about how I'm investing into the stream as it grows. So like even over here with my secondary camera, like I just have a little figurine that holds it up for me. I can go, and then like what I'm using to get the height on is just this jar turned upside down, and I'm able to get the height on it. So I think that's, you know, we were just talking about the thespian background, and that's part of it. You know, you don't always have the funds, but when you don't have the funds, that shouldn't stop you from having fun. You see what I did there? Oh, it's because the other light is off in the room. But everyone, it is 8 o'clock. I'm going to wrap this up. And I'm going to do my last day of work on Friday. And I'll see you all next week. I'll be updating my schedule soon. We're going to, if you'd like, if you're visiting after hours and you catch this show on the repeat, go ahead and go to my About Me section and you'll see a suggestion box. If there's any recipes that you'd like to see on the show, go ahead and leave a comment down in that suggestion box. And then also let me know Monday or Tuesday for the new show. And what time would you like to see it at? Would you like an afternoon brunch series? Would you like more of an evening show? I'm really open up to all these suggestions right now. And I thank you so much. Ooh, I'll have to look up how to pronounce this. Let's see. Smack. I'm not sure how. I like this though. Let's see. Smack. Dutch. I hardly have heard any Dutch. Usually I've heard some German, Turkish too. I do not know the similarities though. I'm not sure if Dutch is considered a Germanic language or if it is a Romantic language. I wasn't sure. I'm not sure what the other language type is. The one from Julia Child's Bon Appetit. That's a good one. Let's see. Thank you so much for those words. I really do like hearing other languages. That's one of my fun things to do, is that stories make more sense, or just people make more sense when you see the words and the vocabularies they have in common, and how this word in one language sounds like this word in another language. It's close to German. So would Dutch, do they kind of string their words together, to describe something? Is it more of descriptive of the whole thing? Like, do words get long? The more like gummy eraser is a translation from German into English, and it just means an eraser. Oh my goodness, I'm having so much fun talking, but I do need to go soon. Let's see. I love it though. Thank you for sharing the Dutch so much. I want to clean up. I do gotta wrap it up for the night. I could talk to you for a while. I'm gonna have, it's a lot of fun. Thank you, Romeo, for hanging out. I'm gonna have to sign off, and I'll see the rest, everyone else. Thank you, Donut Kid, coming in. Ash Artful, thank you so much. You guys are all great, and I'll see you next time.